And they had 2.5 billion raised on the $1.8 billion hole. They were good.
Yeah.
Until Mr. Thiel and the PayPal mafia said, take your fucking money out. $42 billion in one day.
Yeah.
No bank survives that.
No.
None, zero.
No.
There is no bank, right? You think your money's safe in a bank? Bullshit. If there is a bank run, you're not safe.
The financial system and economy as a whole were profoundly affected by the bank collapses and crisis of 2023. As a sign of financial strain and the demand for liquidity, bank borrowing from the Federal Reserve hit an all-time high. This can indicate that people are losing faith in the financial system and that there are worries about its ability to make ends meet. The possibility of a credit crunch is one of the consequences of the current crisis. There is a danger of downgrades in credit ratings, defaults on loans and corporate bonds, and a general worsening of credit conditions as banks struggle. The resulting economic difficulties may cause further deterioration in credit quality and lending. The effects of bank collapses are felt well beyond the banking industry. The confidence of consumers and businesses, investment choices, and economic development as a whole are all vulnerable to the ripple effects of a crisis of this magnitude. It might also lead to legislative changes that improve the financial system's robustness and stability. Investor Mark Yusko has been quite public with his analysis on the financial crisis. Marcus's analysis of the banking crisis sheds light on the systemic dangers, regulatory concerns, and economic conditions that have all played a role in the industry's current state of disarray. His findings provide a fresh viewpoint on the crisis and provide light on its larger ramifications.
There's a video going around now, this one's spooky, of Banking and Finance Committee talking about bail-ins. Right? What's a bail-in? A bail-in is where they seize depositors' money. And the way they talk about it is, well, we have to create like turmoil so they don't notice it. Michael, you're on video. Like this is recorded. And we are not that far away from Cyprus, 2012, where you woke up and 3/4 of your money was gone. So I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the fact that people are talking about it. That's a spooky thing. Look, we have a system since 1913 that has fomented the creation of an elite class. And until somebody stands up to it, it's not going to end. The problem is the people that could stand up to it are owned. And I mean that term intentionally, by the elite class, because it cost $100 million to become a senator. No one that I know has $100 million to blow becoming a senator, so they got to get it from the elite class. And you want to go on a really fun Google search tonight? Go down the rabbit hole of Mr. Thiel's relationship to the Koch family. You'll love this one. We haven't had many periods in history, right? We had one in the 1930s that led to the debacle of the 40s. We had one in the 1860s in the UK. You'd have to go back into the probably late or mid 1700s before that. So it doesn't happen very often where the interest burden exceeds the capacity of the said, empire to pay. And what it necessitates is a complete reset of the said, empire to pay. And what it necessitates is a complete reset, like literally a jubilee. And again, it's what the UK did in the 1860s. It's kind of what we did the 40s, kind of. I mean, it was a little bit offset by the massive expenditures for the war, which that's another one, a topic for another day, is, linking the periodicity of wars to economic contractions. But this one's different, to your point, in that increase in interest is, and even though it's a terrible chart crime, right? Because they start it, whatever. But horrible chart crime. But it is a big increase, and we're getting close to a level of the budget that we've never seen, not even in the 30s. And at some point, we'll run out of people to tax, and we'll run out of missiles to send into the desert to pump up GDP so we can increase corporate taxes. And so what's left? Default. Well, we ain't going to default. So, all the tweets, Joe Biden's going to default on it. No, he's not. No, we're not going to default on the debt. Now, will we devalue it? Will we deflate it away? Will we print so much money that, QE comes back and that those charts flip again? Yeah, that's what's going to happen, because it has to happen. Look at the balance sheets of all these banks. They were going crazy. Well, then what happened when they raised rates? Boom! Unrealized losses. Shit, what do we do now? We bury our head in the sand and pretend it's not there. Yeah. Well, okay, what if there's withdrawals? Well, shit, now we got to sell some bonds, which is what happened to SVB. And look, Silvergate Bank taken down for crypto and because the guy was a bad guy. Signature Bank, crypto bank. Well, not really crypto bank, but you're a crypto bank. You're bad. Silicon Valley Bank, that wasn't crypto, right? That was all caught in the Warren crypto. Yeah. That wasn't crypto. That was shit. Withdrawals. Because why? Because people woke up and said, I can make 5% in a money market. And so you had this massive inflow to money market accounts, dwarfed inflows to anything else in the mutual fund industry, and it was coming out of banks. And what you'll see, and I have it in my presentation later, is First Republic and some others, Signature Bank, tried too late to raise their CD rates to 5% to try to stem the outflow, but it was too late. And then the teal thing caused the flywheel to come off. And so somebody has to buy the bonds. And it's going to be the lender of last resort again. So QE will come back. Or, this is what I've talked about this for decades. It could be that they pass a law that makes it the law that you buy bonds in your 401k. That could be good.
There are several hypotheses on what caused 2023's banking collapse and disaster. Bank runs are a key cause of bank failures and financial crises. When people having money in a bank start pulling it out quickly for safety reasons, this is called a bank run. During the crisis of 2023, a significant financial institution serving the technology sector had a typical bank run and ultimately failed. This exemplifies the danger that banks confront when dealing with large-scale withdrawals. A global credit crunch is another possible development in this crisis. When there is less available credit, sometimes known as a credit crunch, it becomes more difficult for people and companies to take out loans. Further bank failures and a more widespread financial crisis may result from imposing such restrictions on loans. The significance of regulations and central bank measures in resolving the crisis is also substantial. Financial crisis aversion policies have been implemented by regulators and central banks. Their policies and measures are designed to restore public trust in the financial system and stabilize the banking industry. Bank runs, the prospect of a credit crunch, and the necessity for regulatory involvement are all factors in the widespread bankruptcy of financial institutions and the resulting crisis in 2023. Write down your comments on Mark Yusko's interview, would you please? How widespread do you anticipate 2023's bank failures to be? Leave a comment and tell us what you think. We hope this video has expanded your horizons and opened your eyes to the endless possibilities in the world of finance. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos.